Welcome to the Note to Self podcast. I'm your host, Zoe. I'm a certified professional life coach, serial entrepreneur, verified YouTuber, and published author. On this podcast, you can expect actionable tips, reflections, and inspiration to live your best, most fulfilling life. So, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Note to Self. Today's Note to Self is morning rituals that align the highest timeline. So, our mornings set such a beautiful, energetic precedent for our day when they're used in ways that fully support us, nourishing us, nurturing our vibration, and taking care of any loose ends or anything that just might feel a little bit not so good before we enter into the day ahead. So, today I'm going to be sharing different aspects or habits that are within my morning routine. But as you can see from the title, this is morning rituals, not morning routine habits or morning routine tasks. And if there's one thing that I've really learned about myself and the journey of just desiring more freedom in my life and feeling more free, it has been to allow myself not to stay constrained in routine. Because so easily my mind can wander to that place that if I didn't tick off everything that's on my routine to-do list, I don't feel free. And quite often, all of these things that I'm able to share with you get done, but sometimes languaging and the way that we might view things in our mind can actually inhibit us from feeling a next level of freedom and sovereignty within ourselves. And just making slight tweaks can change a lot. So I'm hoping that by sharing some of these habits that are presently in my morning routine, it can allow you to take in some inspiration or maybe just like take a look at your morning habits and rituals and see if there's anything that can tweak to allow you to feel in higher alignment or just in a better feeling place when it comes to your manifestation journey, right? That next level you, what it is that you're creating for your life. I find that by spending some intentional time each day, and I'm about to get into specific habits for aligning my vibration to that place that I'm going to, that vision that I have for my life, just allows me to feel into that each and every day. And thus, I receive more inspired ideas, more inspired actions that fall into my path that have me feeling that much closer to that of which I desire. And then there's an overall enjoyment of the journey because my vibration feels nurtured and cared for. So let's dive into it. Okay. So, to start off my day, as you might have heard in my Simple Habits to Heal the Nervous System podcast, which I'll link down below if you haven't checked it out, it will be complementary to this one. It's more so, again, nurturing habits that support the body aligning with the manifestation or the vision each day. So I wake up quite early. I would say quite early because I don't know if I've ever woken up this early in my life for a chapter or a period of time, and I wake up at 4:50 a.m. each day. So this is something that I've worked up to. Yes, I was getting up at 5 quite consistently, and then the extra 10 minutes really has done a lot for me. I don't know what it is, but there's something really magical about around 4 a.m. I know that could probably sound quite early for a few of you. It sounded quite early for me at first, but then there's just something special about these extra 10 minutes. And quite often I'm awake before my alarm goes off. And when my alarm does go off, it's actually the sound of birds chirping. So this is something that you can for sure do on the Apple iPhone. So if you go into the alarm settings, you can actually choose much more natural, subtle sounds versus the I don't know. I don't know what other way to put it other than the shocking sound of those bells and all sorts of things. If you wake up to something that sounds natural, it sets again such a powerful energetic precedent for your day, waking up with nature. If you're waking up early, you're also waking up with the sun, depending on where you live in the world, of course. But there's really something magical about it. It just is this beautiful space and time each day that you have with yourself, this very quiet, sacred time. So once my alarm goes off, I wake up and I brush my teeth first. I am definitely someone who really really loves my oral health routine, taking care of my teeth, taking care of my mouth. And so I just want to add this in, a little oral health care moment for those of you who may not be aware. So when you are sleeping, you are not like swallowing as much as you do during the day. So there's actually a buildup of bacteria that starts to develop in your mouth through your sleeping journey, wherever you may travel to in the dream space. And so that's naturally why our mouths don't taste very good when we get up. Our breath might not be as we want it to be. And so brushing your teeth actually rids the bacteria before you start going about your day. Like before you start drinking water or tea or whatever you might have first thing in the morning, it's so important to brush your teeth first to eliminate that bacteria that's been building up overnight. So, yes, brush the teeth. It also naturally just creates this freshness as you begin the day. And then what I'll do is I'll put on a robe or put on my yoga clothes, my workout clothes, and then I'll light a candle and I'll turn on some lights if I need to as I take my morning supplements, the ones that are needed to be taken on an empty stomach. And then I make myself a cup of peppermint tea. And by candlelight on my table, I will begin to journal. And it's such a beautiful sacred space and time for myself because I open up the sliding glass doors on my villa and my view is out onto a pool, an infinity type pool, and then onto the rice fields. So there's just so much nature that I'm welcoming into my day immediately. And it just fills me up, those sounds of birds beginning to chirp and the sounds of just the world beginning to come alive slowly. I also live nearby a mosque. So there's the call to prayer, which those of you who have heard it, it's just such a, I don't know, just something so beautiful about it. Just this call to prayer, really reminding us that the morning is a very sacred time. So as you can see, its environment is very important to me in this morning routine. And there is this quiet, special, nurturing vibration that's welcomed in first thing in the morning to nurture my personal vibration. And when I get down to the writing practices, I start with stream of consciousness writing. And when I do this, I just scan the body, scan the mind. What is there for me when I first woken up? Right? Did I take something into the dream space that was stressing me out the day before and thus I'm still waking up with it? It's almost like I use the stream of consciousness writing to clean my system, to clean my body. And if I notice emotions pop up while I'm writing, like let's say I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed by something, and maybe I'm angry, or maybe something is upsetting me, I write into it until I can really identify it. And then I move forward after that in the middle of my writing practice, really, whenever I feel like it's time, I might move into a quantum meditation to really tap into maybe that next level me. Maybe I just need a little bit more of a boost in confidence. I might be feeling a little bit self-conscious about something and I just need to really align with that higher timeline that I'm headed on. Or I will do a little breathwork exercise, the box breathing exercise, which I shared in the Simple Habits to Heal the Nervous System. And then I circle back and I follow through with the rest of my journaling routine, which is actually linked below for you guys. It's a free downloadable PDF of my guaranteed abundance prompts. And this is where I really fill my own cup, tap into gratitude, and set my manifestation practice into motion. This is my manifestation practice that's in the guaranteed abundance prompts. Like this is actually how I tune my vibration to manifest that of which I desire in the morning first thing. And it's just done, right? Like energy work is arguably, I suppose, but the most important work, right? When we're taking care of our vibration, when we're really aligning with creating our dream life each and every day, oh my gosh, we begin to shorten those timelines, quantum leap so much faster. So, like I said, that's linked down below for you guys. And this whole exercise of writing, stream of consciousness writing, writing into my journaling prompts generally takes me about an hour, sometimes even a little bit longer. And unless I have sort of something in the schedule, like let's say I have a personal training session with my personal trainer, which the earliest I'll do is 6:45. I might have to sort of watch the clock a little bit, but an hour. I give myself as long as I need to feel not just okay in my body, but good, real good in my body. And I'll either then move into my embodiment practice, which is either going to be yoga and stretching, or it's going to be going to the gym. So this differs from day to day, and I'm not strict with it. It's just whatever. If I've pre-scheduled a workout with my trainer, great. And if I haven't, normally what I'll do is I'll wake up in the morning and I'm like, am I feeling like doing yoga at home, or am I feeling like going to the gym? More often than not, it's actually going to the gym because I like to get my movement in the morning. I like to sort of energize myself, listen to some inspiring podcasts or audiobooks while I'm on the treadmill, get the workout in, and then I'll actually stretch and do yoga after my workout for at least 20 minutes. So, embodiment practice is important. It's like saying my whole being is important. It's not just writing into the future. It's not just taking care of the vibe. It's taking care of the body too, right? Really cultivating that mind body soul connection first thing in the morning. Again, to align with your highest timeline. Everybody's got to be on board, and by everybody I do mean mind, body and soul. That alignment is key. So, after moving through the embodiment practices, what I'll do is I will come home if I'm at the gym or come downstairs and yeah, then make a smoothie bowl or a protein shake. And again, like there are no rules. It's really just tuning into what the body wants, even when it comes back down to breakfast. Do I feel like oatmeal today? Great. Do I feel like having a protein shake today? Great. Do I want to make that protein shake into a smoothie bowl? Great. But it's also then managing a very balanced first meal. So tuning into micros and macros. And for those of you who aren't familiar, I'm going to give like a very simple terminology for it. It's basically just um, aligning with your first meal or any plate of the day, really having a little bit of everything in it. Does it have protein? Does it have fats? Does it have carbohydrates? And for me, this has been a total game changer because nutrition's a journey for each of us, and I just want to acknowledge that wherever you're at in your journey is great, but for me to kind of make what I feel is like sort of a final tweak in understanding how my personal body feels satisfied and feels optimal in the morning is tuning into micros and macros, is understanding that the meals that I ingest in the day touch all categories, and I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of carbs. Like carbs are so beautiful for our body. They give us energy and vibrancy. And yeah, a little bit of everything does a lot. And I'm going to leave it at that because everybody's journey is different. And I don't want to say anything that might be like triggering, of course, to anyone. This is just something that's personally helped me. So I wanted to pop it in here as it's optimized me for my day ahead. Something that I'll also do if I go to the gym that I just want to plug in here too is I'll do the sauna and cold plunge. Unless I have calls scheduled, this is something that I'm doing post gym, and it's life changing in itself once you start to incorporate this type of hot and cold therapy. My skin's better. I feel energized. You know, the cold plunge itself actually allows the lymphatic system to move. The lymphatic system is like the sewer system of the body. So to get that movement in there can only be done a few different ways. It's actually quite minimal. I'll give you a couple examples. So using a cold plunge can get the lymphatic system moving. Having a lymphatic drainage massage, Cambo moves the lymphatic system. Jumping on trampolines moves the lymphatic system, like especially those little trampolines that you might see people jumping on. But it is limited. So actually perhaps keeping that at the forefront of your mind, looking out for ways in which you can move your lymphatic system, again, just allows for this optimization. And yeah, so all of these practices have been really beneficial to me. And that's why I wanted to introduce them to you guys today, or at least just share. I'm sure they're going to alter and change over time. But one thing that actually has always remained the same is a morning journaling practice, and how writing is so incredibly aligning and healing. There's really no other thing like it. it's this beautiful way to have an inner dialogue with the self and allow creative gifts to flow through. Speaking about writing, as I sign off today, I want to let you guys know about a free 3-day training that I'm going to be doing. And it's called From Story to Authorship to Royalties. So, again, this is a free 3-day training. It's going to be so great. It's happening in Eastern Time from Thursday, May 5th to Saturday, May 7th. And all the details will be linked below, as well as the opt-in. So if you opt in through the show notes, you'll get notified on when this is happening and you'll have access to it, as it's only going to be up for a couple of days. But again, that's From Story to Authorship to Royalties. I am going to be showing you guys how you can find your own story within, build out your book context, and then create your next steps. And I really encourage each and every one of you to sign up for this, because even if you don't feel like you have a book, really coming to understand your story and learning about the healing powers of writing can be so incredibly powerful. And just giving yourself permission to view yourself as creative, and the fact that writing can be a very powerful medium for you. Like I mentioned in this podcast, I manifest through my writing practice. Like that's actually all that I do. And it's because I'm able to activate this power within. And I really want to show you guys what's possible for you. So that opt-in will be linked down below. And I would love to hear about your guys' morning rituals. What is in alignment with you? What helps you feeling your best, mind, body, and soul? And I'll see you again in the next episode. Bye. Thank you for listening to Note to Self. If you enjoyed this episode, please help me out by rating and reviewing this show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If my energy is resonating with you and you feel the call to work with me, there are an abundance of ways to do so. I offer one-to-one life coaching programs, mastermind containers, and DIY courses, all of which are available through my website, zoearielpoulsen.com. Until next time, take note of all the abundance that surrounds you as you make the most of this game called life.